Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
How to not get sick when you travel over the holidays. I mean, or if people travel to you. Mm-hmm. It seems like more than not lately after we've had our big holiday, Murphy, somebody's sick.
Sadly, that's the way the last couple of years have been, yeah.
I don't even want to think about it.
Well,
I don't want to let that in.
We got lucky ourselves last year, I think. But did a few of our family members wind up? Last year was like the lucky break, but we had extended family that got sick. We couldn't hang out with them on Christmas Eve last year.
Oh, that's right. So bad. There was like a
Jodi's mom?
No.
She actually came and hung out with us.
Yeah, it was fun. Anyway, So we touched on this in 3 Things to Know today, and I think it's worth mentioning again. Doctors revealing best airplane seats or the best seat to avoid getting sick during the holidays if you have to travel and have to fly anyway. And it's so interesting, being the biggest risk is not what you touch. And I'm so aware of what I touch on an airplane because you have to think about how many people have touched it before you.
I still think it's a risk, even if it's not the biggest. Yeah.
The biggest is the air you breathe. Respiratory illnesses and viruses spread really easily through close contact. And what happens in an airplane? Close contact with people who have, respiratory things that you don't know where they came from.
Recirculated
They're
air.
Brand new to you in recirculated air. It's one of the most common places to catch something.
However, and this is one thing that I looked up because I know that there's been efforts over the last years, a couple of decades to improve that. So only about 50% of the airplane's air is recirculated.
Oh, that's good.
And I didn't know. I always thought it was worse than that. So basically, with every 5 to 7 minutes or so on an average aircraft, it'll be brand new air that's in the aircraft. It completely turns over.
Nice.
And they use hospital grade HEPA filters, that just like your car has filters or whatever.
Yeah.
However, that said, I mean, the person sitting next to you, if they're sick, it's not going to protect you from that. So, but at least you know that, somebody sitting at the front of the plane is not going to circulate through and, come through your
Not
vents.
to make you wait for it, though, in case you missed 3 Things today, the recommendation is booking a window seat that's far away from the restroom because that limits foot traffic and reduces how many people pass close to you during the flight.
Oh.
So a window seat, so you're away from the passerbys and away from the restroom. If you're right by the restroom, how many people are going back and forth and back and forth? Not fun.
No.
Not a fun place to be.
Well, depending on the size aircraft you're on, they're going to be, lavatories in the front and the back. I should point like the air flight attendants right now.
In the front and the back.
But, so that might make it tricky.
Well, for those of us that don't get up during a flight.
If you were really wanting to, if it's something that you are concerned about, you can always, when you're booking your flight, look at the seating chart and see where that goes.
Just how Murphy does it.
Well, I'm just saying, and now that they've got, most of the airlines have everything carved up into different sections.
Yes.
Of course, there's first class, but now there are 2 or 3 different classes sometimes after that. And so
business,
whatever you buy is where you're going to be seated. Even on Southwest after the first of the year.
I try, this about me. You guys have traveled with me a lot. If I don't have to on an airplane, I'm not getting up and going to the restroom on an airplane.
I know you don't.
The tiny little bathroom, the weirdness of that, and just getting up and down. And I'd rather just stay tucked into my window seat. If it's a short enough flight, I'll just dart to the airport bathroom.
Yeah.
After.
I think this time of year, you also see, more masks and other things. And that works in both directions, by the way. If somebody's sick, they're wearing a mask and vice versa. Yeah, any little bit helps.
The other the air we covered, like the things that you're in a small space, and that's how viruses spread through the air really easily with close contact. But the other thing is surfaces do matter. Like stomach bugs can survive sometimes for days and are likely to spread through like trays, the little trays, and the airplane bathrooms. And the thing about it is you have to touch the seatbelt. You do. And so I remember the first time I realized long ago, when I first started flying, I'm touching this seatbelt. I don't know how many 700 other people touched it before me since it's really been cleaned, and I'm about to eat like peanuts or something. And I just thought, whoa. And so, wash your hands. The recommendation is wash your hands as much as possible when traveling and during the entire cold and flu season, because it is still the number one line of defense that you have from getting sick. Washing hands first. then using antibacterials.
Yeah, I am Mr. OCD when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you're not going to have direct access to hand washing, so keeping hand sanitizer is certainly not a bad idea. And what you just described too, Jodi, sadly, unfortunately, there are a lot of people that still do not wash their hands when they leave the restroom.
I know.
And that's a quick way to transmit something, that it's
that they picked up, that they didn't even realize
correct.
they picked
exactly,
it up. They could have
right.
washed it off.
Correct.
Picked it up and washed it off in there, but they didn't even realize
That's
it.
right, exactly.
You're not just washing away your stuff.
Right.
I saw a couple on a plane recently where the wife whipped out her wipes as soon as they sat down.
Yes.
Started wiping down everything of hers, and her
Good.
husband folded down the tray, wiped the top of the tray, grabbed the seat belts, wiped those. It's like they were clean.
Another thing to avoid, is not just during travel and air travel, but just during cold and flu season, is to try to avoid touching your nose and mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another. I'm hyper aware of that one too.
Well, I'm not. I do it.
I know.
I'm not aware of it.
Most people don't. I don't know. That's I say OCD. It's just over the years, I'm so cautious about that now.
Yeah.
I just don't touch my face. It's the reason I don't touch my sandwiches. I know y'all think that's funny too.
Well, I mean, you touch your sandwiches at home. Clarify.
Well, yeah, I touch my sandwiches at home, but if
we're out,
if I'm out and I'm driving somewhere or whatever, and it's in a wrapper, I'm going to hold it in the wrapper.
Holds it
I'm
in the
not going to hold the
wrapper.
sandwich.
Classy. Eat classy on the road. Anyway, those are your number one line of defense. My favorite thing being the hand washing thing. But if you can't do that on an airplane, remember where you sit.
Well,
try to limit.
Even if you're not traveling on an airplane, what Sam was describing about the wipes, if you're shopping, and a lot of grocery stores now will actually have the hand sanitizer wipes there that you can wipe the cart down with if you want. But those are the little things that it's very easy to forget when you're in a rush, that just that one little moment of contact is what spreads it.
It's you doing all you can.
Yeah.
Like your body is doing all it can too. Your body is it's miraculous and can fight and fight and fight. But during cold and flu season, and it's also the holiday thing for us. We kind of open this with we often get sick after Christmas. It's also people that you're never in contact with. You're all of a sudden in close contact with them for days during cold and flu season.
Yeah, which is what causes all of it to spread in the first place.
Correct.
You're right.
All right.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.